Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and today I've got another solid StamDen build for you guys for the Scribes of Fate chapter. I really enjoyed this build a lot. I had so much fun playing with it, and I just really feel like it's hard. It's got a lot of nice damage, the tankiness is there, and honestly the healing was really nice on it too. So I figured it was really good, and I figured I wanted to show you guys, so I really hope that you guys enjoy. One thing though, real quick, before we get started, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please click that one button. It helps me so much, and I would highly appreciate this. It is just the freest way that you guys could support me. I really don't ask for much, so if you guys could just click that one button, I would highly appreciate it. So guys, without further ado, let's get on with the build. So to start, we are going to be looking at our character sheet. We're going to be a Khajiit on our Warden. I go back and forth between Magden and StamDen a lot, and Khajiit is just really good to do either one with, and I just really feel like it is the hardest hitting race out of all of them. I just love the overall crit damage that you get from it, and that just increases your overall damage. And obviously, I just like it so much, and I really think that Khajiit is just the way to go for StamDen. If you don't have a Khajiit, I really suggest, I think your other two best alternatives are either Orc or Wood Elf, or honestly even Imperial would be really good to help your overall sustain. To look at it, we're going to have our attributes. We're going to have 24 points into health and 40 points into stamina to give us a max magic pool of 17.5k, a max health pool of 28.6k, and a max stam pool of 21,000. Do not worry, all of those are going to increase. You get minor toughness on your max health, so overall our max health gets to around 31k, and we're also going to be using something to get all of our stats to increase as well. So make sure that you're looking out for the rest of the video, because that is not as high as we get those. It is a lot better, I promise. Our Mundus is going to be the warrior to increase our overall weapon damage. We're also going to be using Jewels of Mizrael as our food. It's going to increase our max health by 3,900. It's going to increase our stamina and magic recovery by 357. I'm done using Orzorgas. It's too expensive. So using this is just a great way to increase your max health, because max stats don't really matter anymore. So it doesn't really matter if you get your max stam up or your max magic up. It's all about your recovery. And this is the best way to increase your health while also making sure that you have resources. Also, Vampire Stage 3 as always, because that lets you be tanky with your Undeath passive. Undeath passive is, as always, the lower health you are, the less damage you take. So honestly, Vampire Stage 3 is massive. I'm using it on all my builds. It's phenomenal, perfect. I love it. It's definitely not over-tuned. It kind of needs to be nerfed, but I mean, I didn't say that. Looking at our gear though, we're going to be using a one-piece monster set because we can't really fit a two-piece on here. So we're going to be using one-piece heavy Balorg in reinforced, because this is going to give us it's also, did I say heavy Balorg reinforced? Yeah, anyways, the one piece gives us weapon and spell damage, and it's just a great way to increase our overall damage. We're also going to be using, as our body set, we're going to be using Hexos's Ward in the Divine Stray for our shoulders. So Hexos's Ward gives us crit chance, weapon and spell damage, another line of crit chance, and dealing direct critical damage grants you a damage shield that absorbs up to 14,151 damage for 6 seconds, and that effect can occur once every 7 seconds. This effect is halved when you get into PvP though, because of the Battle Spirit passive, but I really still felt like with a 7k damage shield, it really helped me a lot. It lets me go offensive a little bit more and absorbs a little bit of damage when I am going offensive, and I really do like it a lot. I was checking my combat metrics a lot, because us PC players, we have add-ons that can carry us, and looking at the combat metrics, it was always my number 1 or 2 healer right next to Resolving Vigor. So it was just a great way to keep your sustain up and to keep your healing up and to really just be as tanky as possible. I really do like it a lot. So again, medium Hexos's Ward and Divines for our shoulder, medium Hexos's Ward chest piece in Divines as well for our chest piece. It's all going to be medium, so I'm not even going to say medium anymore for Hexos's Ward because it's an overland set. So Hexos's Ward hands in Divines as well, Hexos's Ward legs in Divines as well, and Hexos's feet in Divines as well. All with the prismatic enchantments on it. And then our waist piece is going to be Rallying Cry. This is going to be our back bar set. Rallying Cry in Divines. Rallying Cry is going to be our back bar set, so this is going to give us crit chance, max magic, another line of crit chance when we're on our back bar, and then while Battle Spirit is active, so either when you're in Cyrodiil, Battlegrounds, a duel, or in Imperial City, critical healing yourself or an ally will give you 300 weapon spell damage, and then also 1650 crit resist, which is why we're in all divines, because we do not need any more impen. The rallying cry will just do all the impen for us. We do not need it at all. So this is huge. This is my favorite backbar set right now. It's amazing. You could just build into so much damage because you can just build divines, and I just really enjoy this so much. And we're using this on our waist because waist is the smallest piece, so we don't really need to worry about our weapon damage getting lowered by the one light piece. This is the best way to do it because we can get our monster set in one heavy, and then we get our waist piece in light, so it's a overall 5 medium set with 1 light, 1 heavy, and I really like the damage overall that comes from being in 5 medium. Our jewelry is going to be Rallying Cry in the Infused trait with a weapon and spell damage enchantment on it. Infused just honestly gets your overall weapon and spell damage up as high as possible and increases your healing and damage as well. Our mythic on this build is going to be Death Dealer's Fate in the Infused trait with a reduced magic, stem, and health cost glyph on it. That is the only piece of sustain that we really have on this build. I honestly really think that the one piece of sustain is really necessary, and I definitely recommend it. Also, Death Dealers is basically going to give us a stack of health, magic, and stam every second that you're in combat. Or every 2 seconds that you're in combat. So this is going to increase our max stats by about 3k, so it really pads our stats, so we've got a lot more stam, magic, and health to deal with. So it's a lot better for your sustain, and honestly getting more health is huge in Cyrodiil. It's such a tank meta right now, and everybody has such high health that just why not join the party at this point. Also, our other jewelry piece is going to be Rallying Cry Ring in the Infused trait with a weapon and spell damage enchantment on it. Our front bar weapons are going to be Master's Dual Wield Perfected Maces. Our main hand is going to be Nirnhoned with a poison damage enchantment on it, and our offhand is going to be Sharpened with a physical damage enchantment on it. Master's Perfected Maces, the Perfected line gives us crit chance, which is awesome, and then our actual 2-piece is Twin Slashes, deal 1635 more damage to each hit, and the initial attack and the bleed so that is amazing for your overall damage. People really feel that pressure, and I definitely recommend trying that out. If you don't have Master's Perfected Maces, you can still use the regular maces, but I definitely recommend getting the perfected versions out there. DSA is really not that hard of content anymore. It's kind of outdated at this point with how hard it is. So just go to Craglorn, pug it up. It's pretty easy. I definitely recommend just trying that, grinding it out. It's really useful on a lot of builds, not just StamDen. I definitely recommend just trying to get it. Also, our back bar set is going to be Rallying Cry Ice Staff in the Defending trait. Rallying Cry, the reason why we have the Ice Staff is, I know a lot of people still ask me this, the Ice Staff is really good for your defenses. Inferno Staff is good for your single target pressure. Lightning Staff is good for your AoE. Ice Staff is good for defense. It mitigates more block damage, and it's just perfect for that. I really don't think that there's really anything else that needs to be said about that. It's just really good for your overall damage reduction. Also, a lot of people are still asking me this as well. Why do I go weapon damage with my Mundus? Because weapon damage does not matter anymore between weapon and spell damage. It is hybridized, and everything is based off of your higher stat. So even if, no matter which one I build into, it'll still be the same number. Whether I build into spell damage or weapon damage, that number that we get to at the top is always going to be the same. So it does not matter on Warden. The only 2 classes where it does matter for future references, guys, is Mag Decay. You always want to build into weapon damage, and Templar you always want to build into spell damage, because in the passives of both classes, Dragonite gives you a passive where you get minor brutality, so you can always build higher into your weapon damage. Same thing with Templar, you always get minor sorcery, so you always want to build into those for that. But every other class, something like Warden, Sorcerer, Necromancer, it does not matter whether you build into weapon or spell damage. So I play a lot more DK usually, so that's why I build into weapon damage. I don't really play that much Templar nowadays because I really hate the way Templar feels. So if I ever use the same gear or jewelry or anything, I'm always building it into weapon damage. So sorry for the little tangent. I just wanted to say that real quick because a lot of people are still asking me about that. Looking at our looking at our abilities, our skills, our main spammable is going to be Rending Slashes. So this is going to be buffed by your Master's Dual Wield Perfected Maces. So rending is going to be a nice little spam bull that you hit on them. It's going to cause bleed damage, so they're also going to get hit with a bleed for 20 seconds as well, and they're also going to be hit with the hemorrhaging effect, so that is huge. Also, we're going to be using Bird of Prey. This is amazing for a lot of different reasons. This gives you major expedition for 6 seconds, so it increases your movement speed by 30%. Also, you gain immunity to snares and mobilizations for 4 seconds as well, so you're immune to that. Also, you're getting minor berserk just for having this slotted, so it's going to increase your damage done by 5%. Also, Bullnetch is going to be on our front bar as well. This is going to be your source of major brutality and sorcery, increasing your weapon and spell damage by 20%. Also, it's going to remove a negative effect from you every 5 seconds, so that's huge as well for your overall damage mitigation. Deep Fissure, we always use the Magic Morph for this because the Magic Morph gives you major and minor breach on your enemies. So that increases your pen basically by 9k. So that is absolutely massive. And this hits like a truck. The tooltip on this is 9k and then 12.6k. And that's without me even being nearly buffed up to what I could be. So that those damage numbers get a lot higher. And I've hit some really nice numbers on that with this build. Also, Whirling Blades, this is going to be our execute on this build, so when your enemies are at low health, you just hit this and boom, delete. I love it. And also, it's a nice little AoE, so if your enemies are roll dodging, it goes through roll dodge, so that's perfect too. And then Dawnbreaker, the ability, the ultimate as old as time. I put this on so many of my builds, especially on Warden, being able to combo this with your rending Deep Fissure combo, then hitting with a Whirling Blades. It hurts a lot of people, and that's enough combo to kill a lot of players in this game. Also, on our back bar, we're going to be using Arctic Blast. This is going to be our main burst heal, and I like this morph better for now before the Necrom chapter hits, because you also get a stun immediately on your enemies, and if you can time it right, if you can switch back and forth between the bars, start to get your combo going, and then hit him with the Arctic Blast if you don't have a Dawnbreaker ready, it is a nice little source of damage that is definitely noticeable, and I definitely recommend trying it. Also, Lotus Blossom, this is going to be nice for your overall healing because every time when you activate this, all of your light attacks and your heavy attacks are going to restore health to you. Then on top of that, you're going to be gaining Major Prophecy and Savagery, so it's going to increase your weapon and spell crit by 2,600, so that's massive. You definitely want this ability on there because you're going to be needing to crit a lot for your Hexos' ward to proc, so definitely make sure you have this ability on there. Also, Resolving Vigor, this is going to be your main 5-second heal over time. Then on top of that, you're also going to be getting Minor Resolve, so it's going to increase your physical and spell resistance by 3k for 20 seconds. Leeching Vines, this is going to be a nice little 10-second heal, and then on top of that, you're also getting Minor Lifesteal, so it's going to take health away from your enemies as well and give it back to you, so that is perfect for your overall healing. If you combo both Minor Leeching Vines and Resolving Vigor when you're taking a lot of pressure, you're getting a lot of healing back. Also, Ice Fortress, this is going to be your source of major resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 6k for 30 seconds. Also on top of that, you're going to be getting minor protection, so it's going to reduce your damage taken by 5% for 30 seconds. So that is massive for your overall damage mitigation. Please use this. Also, we're going to be using Northern Storm on our back bar. The amount of AoE pressure that this gives is so nice when you combo it with your Subterranean Assault, Rending, Whirling Blades combo. The amount of overall AoE pressure is amazing. Then on top of that, you're also going to get your increased weapon and spell damage by 300 for 30 seconds. And then on top of that, after activating this, you and your allies are going to get major protection, so it's going to reduce your damage taken by 10%. So when you activate this, you're going to have major and minor protection. That is absolutely massive. You're going to become so tanky, and you're just going to be doing so much damage. I really just recommend using this as your back bar ultimate. And then onto our champion points. Our blue slot-ups are going to be Focus Mending, Master at Arms, Cleansing Revival, and Ironclad. Our red slotables are going to be Sustained by Suffering, Survival Instincts, Pain's Refuge, and Bastion. Bastion is really going to buff our overall damage shield on Hexos' ward. I have tested it out. It does work, so I definitely recommend trying out Bastion. Then on top of that, our green slotables, the only things that we matter are Breakfall, Rationer, and Liquid Efficiency. And guys, that is the build. If you want to see the footage for this, all you gotta do is stick around. So I hope you guys enjoy. Two things real quick before, actually three things real quick before we go. One, if you're not subscribed to this channel, please click that button. I really hope that you enjoyed this. I always try to post as many builds as possible that actually work. I'm not just out here just duplicating and just putting out mass builds. These are actually all tested and I try them out. If a build is not good and I don't like it, I don't think it performs well, it does not come onto this channel. So these are all builds that have been tested and I put on a lot of time and effort into this. So please, if you're not subbed, the one thing that you could do that would really help me out is just please click that sub button. Also, for all of you guys that are subscribed to the channel that want to help me out even more than just clicking on this one sub button, I have started up a second YouTube channel where I just post all my VODs from Twitch onto that channel. So guys, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys don't really need to go and watch those videos. I get it, it's just VODs. So if you do want to watch them, awesome. But if not, all you gotta do is just hit that sub button for me, because if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, at 1K sub we can get that channel to be monetized, and that helps me out tremendously, makes a full-time content creator a dream come true, and really just helping me out so much. And then also, if you're not following the Twitch, I will be posting the link in the description as well as both the VODs channel and all of my socials. So please check out all my socials and stuff. If there's anything that you're not following me on, please just go do that. It'd be awesome. I post all my builds videos and stuff here, so I really hope that you guys enjoy. I really appreciate you guys sticking to the end, and I will see you guys on the next video. Later.
You're directing your own movie, only keeping your favorite scenes. You post a smile on the silver screen. It's the fakest thing I've seen. You're directing your own movie, only keeping your favorite scenes. It's always sunny on set, it seems. It's the fakest thing I've seen.
Reservoir dogs kill Bill and a sequel, thinking that you're smooth brother faker. But I see through you, I know your heart's dead like sand.